Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to those of you who are new and just joining us. My name is Jackie. So we're going to be reading your general messages for Saturday the 17th to Saturday the 24th, and we're going to be talking about Taurus season a bit for you guys. Before we get into things, I really want to thank all of you for your kind wishes and your love and support and condolences regarding the passing of my father. And many of you know it was only 10 days after my mother-in-law passed, so it was a lot going on my end. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding why I could not load last week. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. All right, so now let's get into talking about Taurus season. So on April 19th, Mercury is entering Taurus, and also the Sun is entering Taurus. For you guys, this is happening in your 9th house, okay? Both of those things in your 9th house. So what does that mean? Let's pull some cards, and we'll talk about it as we go along. Message in a bottle, regeneration. Guys, we're going to be starting off with relationship, and then we're going to be going into career, okay? I will timestamp below. So we have message in a bottle, regeneration, and peace. So there's some sort of emotional information coming in either from you or another person. And this could even be just simply realizations. This could be epiphanies. This could be realizing that you feel a particular way. It's kind of coming up from the depth of the bottom of your emotions, right? Some of you may very well be receiving a phone call. If you notice there's a phone in the bottle and somebody calling you to share what it is that they're feeling, something that they want to talk about, that they want to bring up to the surface and start a new life, right? We have the stalk, and the stalk does indicate a new life, bringing the beginning of a new life here, right? But it's this message, that is the result of this message coming in, having to do with the emotions. Because remember, anything in the water has to do with the emotion. So it's coming up for a new start. And then we have this working with regeneration, right? So obviously something's being like either ended as a cycle and beginning in a new way for those of you who are in a long committed relationship. Some of you may be in a really active space of healing and you're starting to come out of something. But what I do like at the end of the day, it's all about peace. To me, this is very positive, whether you're alone or whether you're going to be with somebody during this time. Okay, this is what I see. Now, I like Taurus season because Taurus season is very practical, very down to earth. Our thinking is very down to earth and grounded. Common sense rules over things. And that's always a good thing, right? We communicate more deliberately under this influence, and our minds are focused more on the world of the five senses, things of illusion. How do we feel about something? Really paying attention to those Venus things, right? And Venus is very much about how do we feel about something. And we prefer tried and true rather than new ways of thinking and communicating. Attention to one thing at a time can simplify our lives, but we can be in danger of like very narrow, overly conservative or rigid thinking, especially because you guys have this going on in your 9th house, which is your belief system. It's your moral code. It's your personal philosophy. It has to do with higher education. It also has to do with negotiations. So if you're in any sort of business situation, negotiations having to do with that, or advertising, marketing, anything like that, really wanting the old, familiar, the tried and true, right? So that's Mercury in Taurus, because Mercury is all about the mental, right? And thinking and communicating. And then with the Sun in Taurus, remember, wherever the Sun is, that's where our focus is going to be. So the focus is going to be on what it is that you value. And because this is in your 9th house, you're going to be very focused on your belief system right now, right? And the Sun in Taurus is most active when it's defending or resisting things. So as the Sun moves through Taurus, your plans are going to really want to take root in a very strong way. Okay, you're going to be feeling this quite strongly this week. Your determination and security, feelings, emotions, right, regarding these things about security, about a firm foundation are going to be very strong. Because remember, Taurus is all about that. It's the youngest earth sign. So Taurus is very loyal to everything that's familiar and values longevity. Now, the shadow side of Taurus is possessiveness and bullheadedness. So you just want to be careful of that. Now, because it's in your 9th house, this can have to do with, when I say your belief system, it's about anything in your life, right? It could be about just where you see your life going, the whole perception that you have of relationships, your career, whatever it might be, okay? And then finally, at the end of the month, we have on the 23rd, Mars is going to be entering Cancer. And for you, that's going to be happening in your 11th house of friends, goals, and gains. It's kind of like, I like to think about the 11th house as your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, whatever it is. So you're going to want to pursue your interests very ardently, but you're going to feel like you're avoiding some sort of direct approach to going after something that you really want. Remember that 11th house is goals, right? So your goals and your plans can be very subject to mood swings and vacillation because it's in Cancer. And that's what the Cancer energy brings. So you may feel defensive rather than overly aggressive. But a lot of what you do, particularly during this week, I mean, it's going to be going until June 11th, right? This Mars in Cancer. But whatever you're doing during this time period depends on your current mood of the moment. So you may feel like on a Monday, you know exactly what you want to do. By Wednesday, though, you may have a different outlook. So just be very kind to yourself and understand that the reason you're vacillating is because you first of all, you're thinking about your safety and your security. And that's going to be front and center. You're going to be feeling very sensitive to anyone or anything that's looking to challenge that. Coming into this energy, we have in relationship, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, if this is a person that you're dealing with, this is an energy that you've been dealing with, who's very supportive and affectionate and generous, right? Yeah, really understands what's needed to grow a situation. If you're resonating with this more as a general influence, this does have to do with marriage or money coming to those who are coupled. This is very good financial management. This is a very healthy sex life. This is about fertility. Some of you may be in a space where you just found out you're pregnant, or that you're growing something like your life together, where maybe you're buying a home or you're expanding a business that you guys have together, whatever it was, right? This is the energy leading into this. Now, if this is just simply this is you taking care of your body, your mind, and your finances. I give you all the different interpretations because this is a general message, right? So not all Virgos are going through the same exact thing. That would be silly, right? To think that. Okay, so it's coming into this energy. Right now, we have two really nice cards here. We have the Ace of Cups and we have the Fool. Okay, so let's talk about the Ace of Cups first. So this is, love, key emotional events happening here. Some of you may be finding out that you're pregnant, right? Because this is also another fertility energy. Many of you may be in a space of prioritizing your parenting. Others of you may be in a space of falling in love. If you're in an existing relationship, this can indicate very strong love and support. If you're single, lots of spiritual growth going on in this space, a very creative time, something that matters a lot to you coming to fruition here in relationship. And we have this working with the Fool. Now, the Fool is a Uranus energy, and this is about a new, either a new relationship or a new start, or like a new approach, doing things differently than before. So obviously, for those of you who are in a long-standing relationship, doing things differently now, changing up your communication styles. Maybe you guys are moving. Maybe things are changing in a new way. Maybe you are having a baby, you're adopting. You're doing something that's moving your life forward in a different way. For those of you who are together, for those of you who are not resonating with it like that, I do see some of you here, you were focusing a lot on yourself and now you're meeting somebody new. Or you're returning to somebody from the past, right? I mean, going back to this regeneration idea, that's the thing with the regeneration card and the wisdom of the oracle. That's the deck that this is. This energy could certainly be revisiting of something from the past in a different way in order to kind of rebirth it in a way. And that's the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is feeling very nostalgic, right? Past, reconciliation, reconnecting with someone old from your past. But this time around, finding the right balance in the relationship where maybe that was lacking before. So it's kind of the energy where if you feel like you weren't treated so well the last time, or if there was very poor communication, or if there were just a lot of, and I'm going to just say like really avoidable misunderstandings, things can be remedied here. And the reason I want to say that is because no one's making anybody ever get back with anybody, okay? I mean, you have to understand that. None of tarot astrology, for those of you who are relatively new, cannot take into account the human condition of human choice, right? But what we do here is we give you what the energy is allowing, okay? So if you were dealing with a narcissistic energy and they come back around, you don't have to get back with them. It's up to you. Maybe you weren't treated very well. Obviously you weren't if you were dealing with a narcissist, but that's not going to change. right? That was like unavoidable stuff if you're dealing with somebody who has narcissism, right? But if it was avoidable, where it was just based on insecurities, whatever, you guys talking things out and things going better, yeah, look at this. We have the Knight of Cups energy. Now, I do want to just backtrack a second. If some of you were like, I have no one in my past that would come to mind with, and I'm single, this could be a couple of things. One, maybe meeting somebody that you went to school with 100 years ago, or that you used to work with, or just knew from another part of your life where you were just friends, but you might be looking at the relationship a little differently now, especially because Mars is going to be in Cancer in that 11th house. So there's going to be a lot of warm, fuzzy feelings in that 11th house as well. So this is the kind of energy where friends can become more than that, okay? Also, it could also mean meeting somebody and feeling like you've met them before, possibly a past life connection. So we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is a proposal, right? This is another energy indicating an emotional time within an existing relationship, or for those of you either reconnecting or meeting somebody brand new, being really wrapped up in a new partner, nice. But you're ready for real love here, Virgo, and there's no question. Don't judge by appearance, don't do anything like that. And also, for those of you who are meeting somebody brand new, or you're changing the dynamic of your relationship where you're leaving that friend space and going to relationship space, and they seem really excited, super excited about being in the relationship, you want to just be careful, all right? Just take your time with anything that seems too good to be true, because you can be, this energy, the thing with the Knight of Cups is this can be a bit of an idealist energy, right? And so this is somebody who sort of puts on this false persona, and they might have a hard time dropping that act, right, to show you who they really are. Typically, it's because of insecurity and vulnerability. I mean, it's fine in the beginning, but you want to get past that point of feeling like, I don't know, are they being totally honest? You guys know what I mean. So we have the Moon in reverse representing you right now. I actually really like the Moon in reverse. I like it better than in the upright, because the Moon in reverse, this indicates greater clarity about something, because when it's upright, it's things are hidden, things are underneath the surface, right? Here it's clarity, the truth being revealed. Some of you may even be getting a lot of messages in your dreams. A lot of people, I'm getting a lot of messages. A lot of people are like, what the hell is going on with my dream space? Crazy. It's like, yes, I know. That is the energy right now. But so that's your situation there, where you're at right now. And the external energy that's influencing you is the beautiful Ace of Pentacles. This is auspicious for every area of life. Now, you could be dealing with an energy who is either new in your life or who is turning over a new leaf. And they're in a good space and it's impacting you. Because this is all about happiness and contentment, getting what you desire, money coming in quickly, connection coming in quickly, communication deepening. That's what the Ace of Coins is, right? But this is in the space of it being external to you, but it's impacting you. So the way I'm understanding this is this Ace of Pentacles with the Moon reverse, somebody is either having a realization about the past, epiphanies, or just doing pretty well in their life, being relatively happy in their skin, and it's what it's doing to you or for you is it's giving you clarity, and there's some sort of truth coming out as a result of it. So it's a very nice energy, to be honest with you. Now in the in the block we have Knight of Swords. Now this isn't real, this is what you're thinking. And this is very unpredictable. So you might be having a hard time. And again, remember, we have that Mars in Cancer in that 11th house. This is, to me, I feel like, even though this is a Taurus and Gemini energy, whenever I interpret this energy, there can be this Cancerian vibe. And let me explain. This really is the energy of expect the unexpected, roller coaster energy, I always call it, right? Highs and lows, sudden truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed, and it could just be that, right? And you could be dealing with an energy who maybe they get bored very easily, or even if they don't, they just tend to create a lot of drama. It's like they sweep in like a storm, create a ton of drama, and then leave with no accountability. And it's like, what happened, right? That kind of thing. And this is in your block and fear. So why I'm saying with Cancer, you may have been dealing with this energy here, right? And now they're having the epiphany, but you're like, I don't don't know if I could trust it, or this person might be amazing, but because of past experiences, you don't know what you can trust. And that's very much a Cancer thing. Cancers get very concerned about, can I trust it, or should I hide in my shell and make them come after me, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And so this is in your block, right? You don't know if you can trust something. You might not even be talking about it. You might be, but you might not be. You're Virgo, you're probably talking about it, but right, because you're ruled by Mercury. But yeah, so that's what I see here, but it doesn't mean that it's real. It just means it's sort of like hanging out in that vulnerability space. We have the Three of Wands in the near future. Three of Wands in the near future is a delay. There's some sort of setback. Something may be coming up that you didn't expect. This is not the end of the world, guys. It's a minor arcana. A little time can pass. It can go upright. And then we have one of the good fortune energies, which is a really indicator of moving forward in a very important relationship and realizing plans. But whenever we have wands and they're reversed, that always indicates, first and foremost, to me, some sort of delay. So maybe because of COVID, maybe because you guys are communicating online a lot and you're not able to get the legs going in the relationship because of circumstances that are going on in the world right now, or just whatever it could be, right? You being together, you wanting to move forward in a particular way. But there's this sort of delay, some of you may be waiting for something to come in that would end up allowing you guys to move forward. Because we have the two here, the Two of Wands, and there are two aspects of a situation, and you have to figure out what the best plan is. A lot of times the Two of Wands comes up, there's this element of waiting for some sort of answer to come in. So maybe one of you are waiting for an answer about a job that's going to impact your financial situation, which will then allow you to move forward in a particular way, maybe move or have a baby or get married or something like that. Or you're just waiting on something. There's some sort of waiting. Not a bad way, but it's like you're making the plans, you're moving forward, right? This is about partnership, you gaining influence here, and in the way where you are able to have and formulate a really solid relationship, right? But there are two aspects to something. So I feel like, to be honest with you, what I'm feeling is good things are coming for you here, Virgo, right? For this particular week. I feel like the pragmatics of something need to be worked out. There's some sort of situation. Maybe somebody lives far away, or there's some sort of circumstance going on with work, or whatever it is, right? Maybe you want to go to therapy together and you can't right now just because of, I don't know, right, to COVID or whatever. But it looks like whatever it is going to end up bringing you a lot of peace. There's going to be a sharing of emotion, and there's going to be this feeling of regeneration within you, whether it's you meeting somebody new or you're addressing things within a current relationship. So I do like that for you, so that's good. Okay, so let's put these guys on the side, and let's take a look for career. So this could be your career, any kind of financial situation. You know how I do. Or for those of you who are new. So I'll do for career, but also maybe you have a lawsuit going on, or anything that's requiring finances. You're buying a home, you're selling a home. Inheritance, insurance payout, divorce settlement, anything like that, right? Anything involving money. Discover your life purpose. Well, you can't get more direct than that. And this is interesting, right? Again, going back to that Mars entering Cancer in your 11th house and having all this Taurus energy in your 9th house. You're being very practical. You're very focused on your future, right? Because Cancer wants to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. And having this in your 11th house of your 5-year or 10-year plan, you're really figuring out once and for all, like, what do you want to do, right? And that you have that Saturn and that Jupiter energy in your 6th house this year. So yeah, look at this home. Some of you may be buying a home, selling a home, working from home. Or this could also be indicative of feeling at home in something. Hole in the soul, yeah. Virgo, it's pretty clear to me that something is going on in having to do with finances that is either incredibly dissatisfying or painful. And I'm going to say both of those, because a hole in the soul means literally like there is this vacancy. Something was there and now it's not, right? So a hole in the soul could be doing a job, studying a particular major, anything like that, where you just feel this sense of lack in that area, almost like an apathy regarding what it is that you're doing. You might even love what you're doing, but you're sensing all too clearly that it's not going to bring you to where you want to go. So that could be that. It could also be if you're in a legal situation with somebody, maybe a family member, or it could be some sort of inheritance situation, a marital situation, like a divorce or something like that. Having to square things up with a business partner, where you just feel this hole in your soul. There's this lack, right? Maybe you lost your job, something like that. And you're in the space of like, okay, now what? What is my life purpose here? What do I feel at home doing? Yeah. So whatever happened, totally meant to happen. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's what the star means when it crosses the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, when we're talking about money or career, there's always a very important conversation that's involved in that, right? And part of the end result of that conversation is either an argument, a level of disinterest, parting of the ways, there being this parting of the ways, right? So that could be obviously getting fired, quitting, dissolving a situation, or at least detaching from a situation, right? So we have that right now with the Two of Cups in the reverse. But we have this working with the star energy, and the star here is about money, luck, and work you do beginning to pay off, right? This is really where your mind is focused, right? Focusing on long-term plans. You might be guided to begin a new business, or you may realize actually that, and going back to the discover your life purpose, that you actually have a talent that you haven't even really tapped into or fully realized yet that you could put to good use. But this does show like a rising in status, right? Your ability to do that. But you wouldn't be able to have this experience if what you were in right now, what's going on right now, didn't end. It needs to be this idea of ending, right? Now, coming into this energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and you're just taking care of yourself, taking care of your finances. You're just trying to do you and be you and make some really good choices. Now, for some of you, as an influence, this can indicate money coming to those of you who are coupled, or it could even indicate just good financial management here and the ability to grow in something. Or at least a strong desire to grow in something, right? So it could be, some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Obviously, that's very specific and not for everyone. So we have as a crowning energy the beautiful sun. There's no way of not knowing, looking at this in a negative way. This is fabulous. This is about success and a position through which you can end up making more money. So you're getting a lot of deserved acknowledgement. Lots of success here, my friends. But what this means, but the choice ultimately is always going to be up to you. And what I mean by that is the sun does not provide us with pots of gold. The sun provides us with the tools for our toolbox that we need in order to become successful. And it's up to us to A, recognize that, and B, utilize those tools, right? But everything is going to be there, right there. So you don't want to allow insecurity, vulnerability, fear, blah, blah, whatever the hell can be on that list of things that could possibly get in our way. And the list is always very long, isn't it? But the energy is really beautiful right there. Look at this, doing it afraid anyway, right? The strength energy. So some of you may have been dealing with tensions at work, dealing with a lot of just egocentric people, but if things can certainly be resolved through empathy, so that's really good. For those of you who don't resonate with it like that, guys, this is all about creativity, because remember the strength is Leo, and Leo is the landlord of the fifth house, right? And so the fifth house is creativity. It's one of the entrepreneurial houses. So I do feel like many of you may be feeling very inclined to either get your own thing going, right? Whether it's your own business, maybe you are doing something creative on your own in a different way, maybe working from home, something like that, or you're utilizing your creativity in a different way within the area that you're in right now. So you're going to be doing things differently and more creatively if you're still there. I do sense that a lot of you are no longer at your job, or you're in the process of transitioning away from something. Now we have the Hierophant energy as your position right now. So the Hierophant is about progression forward in your work, in your decisions, in your direction. You might be dealing with somebody who is very motivating, very inspirational right right now. This could be someone that you either maybe heard a podcast, or saw some sort, or took some sort of workshop, or it could just be a teacher, or it just could be a friend, a family member, but somebody not even realizing that they planted a seed in you, and it's just really motivating you to want to go through the steps, right? Because the Hierophant is about understanding commitment to something, expectations, conformity in order to develop something, right? That's why we also look at it as the marriage card in relationship, because all of those things are necessary for marriage, right? So now we have the external energy that's impacting you here, having to do with this. Love it. Queen of Cups. In astrology, this is Gemini and Cancer. So that's all about having that great communication, Gemini, and to discuss what it is, either something regarding home. Some of you may just be purchasing a home, selling a home. There might be some sort of property, real estate. Maybe you're a realtor, in fact, anything like that. But if it's not resonating with you like that, this can be a conversation having to do with what you need to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. And this could really just be the general energy that's surrounding you, or you even discussing, you discussing this with someone who's able to help you, right? Because this Hierophant could be you dealing with this energy that I mentioned, right? Being very inspirational and motivational, and you having this conversation. So someone might be helping you along. Someone might be giving you a little leg up, a little help along the way, which is nice. Now, your block and your fear is the Three of Swords. So I understand. I mean, this is not real. This is, it may be real, but it's more based in your psychology. Some of you may be feeling kind of depressed and I wouldn't say depressed, but it's maybe like an element of sadness because you feel disappointed that something didn't work out differently, having to do with this. You could be afraid of somebody betraying you. You could be just afraid of something going in a way where you end up confused, right? You don't want to deal with the hurt. You just don't want to deal with that. You don't want to get your heart broken, right? It's a card of pain. You don't want to get your heart broken in something. It's almost like you very much want something to work and you don't want to end up on the wrong side of that. But look at this in the near future. Beautiful Empress energy. This is fabulous. This is just a great energy. The Empress is all about Venus. So what does Venus rule? Let's think about what Venus rules. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, right? Taurus is the second house of things we value, including money. And Libra is the seventh house of business partnerships, but it's also, it's us looking at how fair are things, how equitable are things, and it's looking at these things in a way where not to be overly critical, but to make sure that things are equitable and fair and that we're happy so that we can grow, right? Now remember, the Empress is the mother of the tarot. She's perpetually pregnant, so it's always about planting a seed, cultivating it, right? Bringing it to a certain space, giving birth to it, and then going back and doing it again. So it is this idea very fertile. And when we're talking about career, obviously it is about growth. Remember, Venus is one of the money planets as well. So I really like this, but it's going to be a lot of work. There's no question, right? We have the Nine of Wands. You're in a strong position. You are putting a lot of work into something. You might be pretty tired right now, just because you've been working, right? You're going to have the perseverance to see something through, but you want to make sure that you don't get sucked into this space where it's negative, right? Because whatever you're feeling right now that's negative is temporary, right? And you may be in the space of feeling more defensive right now. Just be careful it doesn't spin you into that negative mindset, because you are going to be met with success. You want to be careful, again, going back to this idea, really honor the fact that you have Mars entering Cancer, right? So it's for you guys in that 11th house. So, and again, because the 11th house is a house of goals and gains, that's very directly connected to your future and where it is that you're going and what it is that you're doing for money, right? And you may be in the space of being like, I don't know, I feel really defensive. Are they trying to screw me over? I don't know. I'm scared of getting hurt. I'm scared of this going, sideways. That kind of thing. So there's a lot of really exciting energy here, I have to tell you, because I feel like you're changing, you're realizing some sort of gift or talent that maybe you sort of knew you had, but you're really bringing it more to the forefront. And you have to, in order to fill this hole in your soul, because the hole in the soul can only be filled by you. no one else, right? And it's got to be something that you feel at home in and grounded. Again, some of you can literally be dealing with the buying or selling of a home or working from home. That is what I have for you, my friends, for this particular week. Let's see what shows up next week. Please join me then. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. And if you like my energy, please think of subscribing to my channel. I would appreciate that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.